What's up, y'all? Welcome back to the channel. Monday, March the 11th. That's right, March the 11th. March is trying to march on out of here to April. So, guys, welcome back to the channel. I appreciate you if you're a returning viewer. I appreciate you if you're a new viewer. Just do me a favor. Hit that thumbs up if you truly enjoyed the video. Hit that subscribe button. Both of them are totally free. Both of them actually helps my channel. I'm trying my best to get more in contact with newer channels that I'm seeing and subbing to and enjoying their content. So I'm doing the best I can, keeping up with comments on my behalf as well. So anyway, guys, like I said, it's March the 11th and the spring season pretty much has officially kicked off. And as you can see right now, I'm just doing a walk around, just showing you guys what I can of the property I'm about to service. Forgive me for the angles, but I'm just trying to, be as private as I can on properties, just not, exposing too much of people's personal spaces and areas. But I'll just give you guys a quick walk around of the property I'm about to clean up. I didn't touch this property since the later part of last year. I think it was around maybe November-ish. I did a video. I think it was a short actually, but I'm not sure if I did a full video or not. But anyway, I cleaned up the trees the later part of last year during the winter time, and that was the final time actually stepping foot on this property. Far as my mower being on this property and weed eating, that's been ever since the end of the season. Probably late October, or I think it was maybe late November, to be honest with you. I can't quite remember, just done lost track of time. But guys, sit back, enjoy the video. I'll chime back in here in just a second, and we about to get ready to kickstart this cleanup of this property. So guys, let's get to it. The blades are turning and we about to get this property cleaned up to a start. So anyway, I've noticed a lot of people lately on YouTube have been definitely stepping up their game on securing their equipment, different racks, different types of locks. And I think the most common one that I see on here is the equipment defender. Far as just making sure that your equipment is secure when you're away from your vehicle while you're out here servicing things, especially if you don't have an enclosed trailer where you can just lift your gate back up and lock it up until you finish on the property, because thievery is at a very high rate. I mean, everybody's looking for that 5-finger discount, and what costs a couple $100 to a couple of $1,000 for you, when they steal it, they're only trying to get $20-30 off, just a few dollars. So guys, just be mindful. I will reiterate what I hear a lot of channels saying: secure your stuff when you're out here servicing stuff, because it just literally takes 1 minute for somebody to run up, snatch your stuff while you're in a backyard or in a blind spot of a property, and that's your blower, your weed eater, your lawnmower, your trailer, etc., whatever they can get to. And a company that just took a major hit was Drake's Lawn Care. I'm not sure rather if they really follow my channel or not, but my heart goes out to them. They lost every single thing to a thief, minor, other than just a few things that they had in storage. But man, that's gotta hurt, because the season's kicking off, and for somebody to steal from them right at this time and moment, it sucks. So guys, just be really, really mindful. If you haven't been doing a great job at it or doing it at all, let's make 2024 the season of, equipment security. There's one thing I need to do different myself, and that's to get a actual lock to put on my trailer hitch. Right now I just got a bolt and a nut that screws on there to just keep it on the trailer, but I don't want anybody to catch me off guard when I'm parked somewhere and they can easily just remove my trailer from my hitch and take off with it, and I'll come back around there and I don't know whether they went left, right, up or down. So that's one thing I want to push out there myself personally, is more security to your equipment. I do put just my weed eater and my blower on the back of my truck, and I try to tie it down with a chain and a master lock. But I'm thinking maybe get something just a little bit more heavy duty, because the chain that I use, it's easy to be cut with a chain cutter. So the best thing I can do is in the next few weeks here, get something a little bit more secure where they can't just go there and easily cut it and run away with my stuff. Sometimes I even put my stuff on the inside of my truck and lock the doors. That's a little bit more secure than leaving it on the back of the truck with a chain. But just I'm looking for more ways to be better and prove that securing what's cost me thousands of dollars for somebody to come and steal it for just a couple of dollars. Keep that in mind, guys. Be more secure with your equipment. Let's make it as hard as possible. Let's make it impossible for a thief to just come up and take something of yours and it just pretty much crash your whole season because of a piece of equipment or your trailer, etc. like that. I mean, the last couple of years it's been pretty bad listening to a lot of channels think that they were hit by thieves. So more security, guys, more security. So guys, just want to point out a few tips that may help you out. They surely help me out when I'm out here doing these early spring cleanups and even throughout the whole season. But during the progression of mowing this lawn and getting it back into shape, for the sake of the length of the video, I pretty much cut majority of my properties on 2 inches. There are some properties that I cut just a little bit higher than that, but the majority of them I cut on 2 inches. But this yard was pretty much full of those weeds that were starting to come up before any of the real grass. And if you could tell by the video, hopefully you could just a little bit, that they were pretty tall. So what helps me out when I'm out here trying to do these cleanups and make it look as neat as possible is I usually start off again in 2 inches. I like to start cutting at my lowest first, and a lot of people do it the opposite way, but I just like doing as low as I'm gonna cut first, and then I'll go back for the second cut and do it on just a little bit higher. So I started off like 2 inches, And once I got the property mowed down, I went back and went up to 2.5 inches to pretty much give it a smoother look. I feel more so that once I start off cutting low, when I go back over it for the double cut, well, I would actually say triple cut, because I tried to double cut on 2 as I go and then raise up. But I put it on 2.5, and what that pretty much does is it knocks the top off the rest of what's left standing. Because, you know, those weeds, they pretty much, I call them knock me over as I'll stand back up. They're going to get knocked over if you don't go, you know, pretty much slow enough across the lawn and give your mower, you know, just that little bit of time to actually cut and distribute it out across the yard, you know, from out of the chute. So pretty much I started low, raised it up to 2.5 inches, and finished knocking off the top, and it gave it a very smooth and crispy look. Hopefully you can tell at the end of the video, you know, once I wrap everything up, you can pretty much see the end results. But that's just a little tip, something that has helped me from, you know, year to year being in lawn business. And my thoughts were, when I first got on this property, was I wanted to maybe string trim first, but this time around, you know, I just went ahead and mowed first, because there were things added to the property, which was my point. There were some things, you know, added to the property since I last touched it. You know, property owners are gonna, you know, make things, you know, different on their yard, you know, from day in to day out. You know, it's their property and they can do as they so please, you know, adding or removing things from the yard. So I pretty much mowed first just so I can get a pretty good overview while mowing of things that's been added, things that's been removed. So once I get to weed eating, you know, I'll know rather if it's anything added to my weed eating swath or rather not. So hopefully that makes sense, but that's what pretty much helps me. So the next time when I go, I pretty much got the layout in my head, and I pretty much can jump right to it and know what to avoid, what areas to avoid, and, you know, make sure that property stays looking good for the entirety of the season. So that's just a tip. Hopefully, you know, you guys can understand what I'm trying to say. Hope you guys have made it this far. If you have, please continue to sit back and enjoy the video, and we're going to check out of here in just a few. Guys, as I'm wrapping this video up, I pretty much want to hit on 2 more things that come to mind. Number one, I've been posting a couple of different times. I even posted a short about it. Investing in a Doran's grip. Guys, the number one thing that you're going to feel, mostly other than arms, once you do a lot of string trimming, is you're going to have that back tightness, stiffness, whatever you want to diagnose it as. You're going to feel it in your back because you're slouched over, and, you know, depending on how much weed trimming you got to do in a day, you know, at a certain amount of time, you know, you're going to feel it in your back. So I highly suggest, if you haven't, you know, made the switch over and investing in a Doran's grip, I would suggest, you know, just from my opinion, to give it a try. I ended up getting one on my steel trimmer, that's my backup trimmer, and I felt so much of a relief when it came to my back at the end of the day. So I ended up investing in another one. And I must say, it is definitely a game changer when it comes to making sure, you know, your posture is as best as it can be while you're out here string trimming. Instead of being, slouched over and, reaching pretty far, to hit certain spots. That Darwin's grip will pretty much keep you guys, standing up straight, and leveling out your back. So guys, just if you can this year, if you're looking for any new piece of equipment to invest in, give that Darwin's grip a try. There are several channels that you can go to and use a discount code. Depending on what lawn care channels you follow, a lot of them have the link in their bio that you can go and get a couple dollars off of a Darwin's grip, or you can just do your own research and find one. So that's one thing. And the last thing I want to hint on is something that I have been sold on since last season is the Copperhead trimmer line. Guys, that's some pretty good line. It's a bit pricey, but at the end of the day, it pays for itself. It's not brittle, and it reduces the amount for me, and I'm sure a lot of guys can say the same because I've watched the videos. It reduces the amount of time that you have to tap your head to keep feeding out line. Now, granted, I still run my Red Max with the cover on. I just haven't even talked myself into taking it off as I've done my other trimmers. I'm pretty much just, I'm used to having that cover on there, so it may just stay on there. But yeah, the point I'm trying to make is I don't know exactly how many people use what string trimmer line, but I'm thinking just to save you guys, some wear and tear on your equipment, from constant having to butt the head of your string trimmer when you're trimming and fence lines, and especially if you use your trimmer to do edging. If you get you some pretty good, reliable trimmer line, if you got the opportunity just to spend just a little bit more money to invest in just a little bit more sturdier trimmer line than the line that you get at your box stores, I would say do it. Because I'm telling you, ever since I've got that big spool of Copperhead line, I'm telling you, it is still lasting me, and it's very durable. I barely have to tap my head a whole lot of times when I'm out trimming. It just depends on what I'm, pretty much trimming around. If I'm hitting the fence or whatever, yeah, it's going to eat up some of my trim line, and I may have to tap it a couple of times. But when you're out in the open, you just pretty much really just say weed eating the ditch bank, that's just straight, vegetation. That copper line that I use, it's pretty great. I've used a lot of different lines, but I must say by far that Copperhead line, the 0.80, is by far my favorite. So that's just a little tip. If you want to reduce the time of having to keep swiping against a fence line or anything like that, if you want some good sturdy trimmer line, that would be one of my suggestions. I'm not sponsored or anything by them, but it's just something that I've grown to love while I was in business. It costs a little bit more, but at the end of the day, it saves you a little bit on wear and tear. It definitely gets, the string trimming done. Especially if you just string trimming, like I said, in open areas and not butting up against a fence or doing a whole lot of edging with it. It definitely lasts a whole lot longer than some of your little bit, cheaper brands that you can get at your box store. But that's not something I'm pushing out there because I don't know, your finances or what's been really working for you in the past. But I just figured that this time around that I'll just pass on just a few tips of things that have helped me, in my last couple of years of lawn care, things that have made me just a little bit more successful. So guys, I hope you watch this video to the finish line. I really appreciate it. Again, hit that like button, hit that subscription button. It's totally free. I really appreciate you guys showing love and support to the channel. I'll catch y'all on the next one. This is Simon from Ranch Lawn Care. Y'all stay safe, and let's keep going in 2024 and making these lawns look beautiful one at a time. Y'all take care.